Hi, I'm GeoDav, and what we're going to do this time round is have a look at doing vehicles in UDK. Now, this video is purely an intro just to let you know how I'm going to set out these videos. And basically, all I'm going to do is take each type of vehicle that already comes with UDK. Let's just go have a very quick look. We don't want environments. Just go down into vehicles. Now we have in UDK, as everybody knows, let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger. I should really prep this a bit better, shouldn't I? Okay. Put that up there. Put that up there. There we go. In UDK, well, UDK comes with the Sidada, or how you pronounce that, which is basically a flyer. We have the Manta, which is a skimmer hover vehicle. And of course, we have the Scorpion, which is a wheeled vehicle. Now, some people might have already seen my UT3 videos on these. Well, doing content for these. Basically, what I'm going to be doing in these videos is taking each type of vehicle one at a time and showing you the specific things that you need to look out for, not only when you make your content in the Unreal Development Kit editor, but also having a look at the code and getting pretty much the sort of workflow that you need, because each type of vehicle has its own little quirks and bits and pieces that you need to watch out for. And if you're just starting off, it is really a good idea to take one of these vehicles, pretty much copy the code. I won't say copy the content, but make the content the same as what they've used on these, to give you a good sound base idea of what you should be doing, what you should be looking for, and obviously if things go wrong, where to go and to fix it up. Right, so let's just have a quick run through with these things. Alright, if you click on the Cydia package, I'm going to call it Cydia, but it's probably pronounced wrong. Right, in here we have the mesh subsection. Now you've got a lot of damage items, exhaust, cone, but the main things we're going to be dealing with is things like the skeletal mesh and the physics asset. Okay, now you go into the materials and you will see a hell of a lot of materials when you compare it against a weapon. Now a weapon you will only see what, maximum 2-3 materials, same amount of textures, but for the vehicles we have got a lot more, and I'm going to do a separate video, or the next one. I know it's going to sound a little bit sort of wrong way round, but I'll be doing a video on the materials before we start playing with the meshes, okay, because it is quite important and it is very time consuming setting these things up. Okay, now I'm not going to deal with effects because I ain't got a clue. Anim tree we're going to be looking at. Anim sets, a lot of people are struggling with these things, and you'll be surprised how easy it is to use an anim set within your vehicle and the code. Okay, there's a few different ways to set things up. I'll be doing the easy cheaty way, and because I can't code, so that's the way that goes. What else we got here? Well, we've got the Manta. Now Manta's pretty much the same. Lots of damage meshes here, physical assets. You've got morph targets here. Now I will eventually get onto them, but if you can't wait for things like that, then just check out my UT3 videos, because to be very honest, it is the same setup, and that's what I'm going to be showing. Okay, so you got lots of materials yet again, effects and anims, and the same goes again for the Scorpion. You know, your anim trees, your effects, materials, meshes. Now, one thing that I would like to take 2 minutes of your time to show you. Alright, I know this is just the intro. The mesh videos, I'll reiterate this in the mesh videos, but it might take me a while to get them up. So let's just have a quick look here. And what we can't really, not very clear. It might just be the lighting that I've got at the moment. Alright, have a quick look at the Scorpion. Okay, now, word of advice from somebody who's, I've been playing around with UT3 UDK since 2007, when even before that I was using UT 2004, and the system is very, very, very similar. The thing that I want to make a big point about is your bone orientation. Now, if you watched any of my other videos on vehicles, weapons and whatever, I do harp on about it, and there's a very good reason for it, because if you don't have your bones orientated when you bring your content in, you are going to struggle. There are ways and means round these things, but the big thing is, I say the big thing is the orientation. If you get it right at the start, no matter what 3D app you're going to be using, whether it's Max, Maya, Soft Image, Blender, you get your bones orientated from the start in the correct position. Well, I say position, correct orientation. It will make life so much easier once you get into the editor and into the coding of your vehicle. Let me just show you. Alright, here we go. I've just clicked on the show skeleton button. Now, keep an eye down here at the bottom. You've got your world axis orientation size. Z is up, X is forward. Okay, the vehicle points forward along the positive X axis. Now, if we zoom in here, alright, we'll go to the main root bone. As you can see, that's made everything even worse to see. Okay, alright, we've got lots of things attached, well, everything. If you look at the hierarchy, now on everything is parented to the main root bone. Now, I wouldn't advise using root, the name root in there, because it can cause problems. Right. Okay, I'm trying to get the orientation of this main root bone visible, but as you can see, Z is up, X positive, pointing forward, Y pointing out to the side. If you look at all these other bones here, alright, just open this mesh in the mesh editor, you will see the exact same thing. Okay, right, zoom out a little bit. The wheels, Z is up, X is forward. All the other stuff, the weapons, the anim bone, or whatever you want to call it. Let's see if I can find it very quickly. Let's go down here. Gun base bone. Okay, gun rotate bone. Alright. Doesn't matter which way the meshes are actually pointing, but to make life so much easier for you, if you're doing the modeling and the rigging, it makes things so much easier once you get this content into UDK, that once the bones are orientated correctly, then it makes life so much easier. The amount of people that I've helped as best as I can on the forum, on my support thread, when they're saying, oh, my vehicle's coming in on the side, or it looks okay in the editor, and then we get it in game, it flops over onto the side, this, that and the other, it goes all squiffy and is not driving right. 99% of the time, trust me, is because of the bone orientation. I know I'm harping on, but I can't stress enough how important that really is. Now, I'll just make an even more point of it. We've just looked at the Scorpion. All right, let's go have a look at the Manta. All right, spin that round. Yet again, Z up, X forward. Click on the show bones, and yet again, here we go. Everything, X forward, Z up. Okay? And one last time on the Cydia. Skeletal mesh. Swing it round so it's pointing the more of a sensible direction. X forward, Z up. Click on the show. Got a few little changes down there, but I think if we go in, you can just see X forward, Z up, X forward. Just go into these meshes and have a look at them, and you will see what I'm on about. And trust me, it is so important. Now, when we get onto the anim trees, I'll show you possibilities on how, if for whatever reason you've received a mesh and it's not going the way, it's not been rigged correctly, that we might be able to do something about it. But if you're in control of your modelers and whatever, really bend their ears about the bone orientation. Okay? Right, I think that's enough of that, and I think I've burbled enough on this. But basically what I'm going to be doing is picking a certain type of vehicle. I'll be bringing it in, well, I'll do all the content sort of like off record. I'll bring it all in and I'll show you what I've done, because you don't want to sit there watching me importing. Let's see what we got here. Okay, we've got what, five textures, yeah, and umpteen materials. Now, like I say, materials is really going to be a separate video completely. Okay, but we'll go with the flow, and I'll do my best to point out all the pitfalls that you're going to have. Okay, but as a last point, what you got to remember with these videos and my tutorials, I will be using the UT game code. Okay, it's very important. If you don't want to use UT game code, what I suggest, okay, is you look at what I'm doing, apply it to your own code, and because there's a lot of stuff in here, and there is a lot of stuff, and you really need a good coder to do it if you're going straight from the UDK code, not the UT game code. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I burbled on enough, and I will see you soon. Okay, so let's go and have some fun sometime.